All right, let's get right into it. We are about to dive deep into one of the biggest and frankly toughest parts of trading, your psychology. We're going to break down exactly why a killer strategy can still end in disaster and how mastering what's going on in your own head is the real key to winning.
You know that feeling, right? It's just maddening. You've put in the hours, you've crunched the numbers, the setup looks absolutely perfect on the chart, and then boom, it all goes wrong. And you're just sitting there thinking, what on earth just happened?
Oof, okay, that might sting a little, but hear me out. This is actually the most powerful thing a trader can ever realize, because it means the real battle isn't out there on the screen. It's right between your ears. And that idea comes straight from the legend of trading psychology himself, Mark Douglas. His whole philosophy is that the top traders, they aren't some kind of market wizards. Nope, they are masters of themselves. So where does all this mental struggle even come from? Well, it actually starts with the very thing that pulls us into trading in the first place, this incredible but dangerous illusion of total freedom. Let's really look at this because it's a huge paradox. On one side, you've got this siren call of trading, complete freedom, no boss, just you and unlimited potential. But that exact same freedom, that's the trap. It opens the door to completely random outcomes, potential psychological meltdowns, and that ever-present temptation to risk way, way too much. And this quote from Douglas, man, it just hits the nail on the head. We desperately want to believe we can predict what the market should do, but the market is this giant collective entity. It literally does not care about our opinions. And what happens when we live in this illusion? Well, it fuels all the worst habits. We start chasing that gambler's high from a random win. We blame everything but ourselves when we lose, and we let raw fear and hope make all of our decisions for us. So, if just slapping another indicator on your chart isn't the real answer, then what is? It's a huge shift in focus. You have to go from being a market analyst to being a mind analyst, your own mind. And this, right here, this is the journey almost every single trader takes. You start with fundamentals, right? Trying to figure out what's supposed to happen. Then you graduate to technicals, looking for those reliable patterns. But the final and most important stage is mental analysis, learning how to manage yourself. So what is mental analysis, really? It's about wrapping your head around this crazy idea that any one trade is basically a random coin flip, but you can still get consistent results over hundreds of trades. It's about switching from trying to be certain to just thinking in probabilities. That's what separates the pros from everyone else. And this is a total game changer. You've got to understand this. You're not seeing an objective chart. You're seeing a chart that's been filtered through all your own beliefs, your fear of losing, and your desperate hope for a big win. Two people can look at the exact same chart and see completely different things. Okay, so to get that kind of clarity, you basically need to rip out your old, faulty programming and install a brand new belief system. Mark Douglas lays out 5 fundamental truths that have to become the absolute bedrock of how you think as a trader. There are 5 of them, and let me tell you, truly, deeply committing to these truths, well, it's completely non-negotiable if you want to succeed. Let's walk through them. Truth number 1, and it's the big one. Anything can happen. I don't care how perfect the setup looks, how certain you feel, the market can do the exact opposite in the blink of an eye. You have to bake that uncertainty into your soul. Number 2, you don't need to be a fortune teller. You don't need to know what's coming next to make money. All you need is a statistical edge. That's it, a tiny advantage that plays out over time, just like a casino. All right, truth number 3. This one's tough to swallow sometimes. It means even with a fantastic winning edge, you're going to have losing streaks. It's just statistics. You can't predict which trades will be winners, only that your edge will work out over a large sample size. And number 4, let's get super clear on what we mean by an edge. It is not a guarantee. It's just a slightly higher probability of one thing happening over another. Think about it. A casino has no idea if you're going to win the next hand of blackjack, but they know with total mathematical certainty that over thousands of hands, they will win. You have to think like the house. And finally, the 5th truth. Every single moment in the market is a one-of-a-kind event. Just because a pattern worked perfectly the last 10 times doesn't guarantee a thing about the 11th time. Each moment, each trade is totally unique. Okay, so knowing these 5 truths is one thing, but actually living them when your real money is on the line, that's a whole different ballgame. So how do we actually do it? We need a process. We need a way to forge that disciplined mind. And here it is. This is the practical, step-by-step playbook. You define your edge. You test it on at least 20 trades to see if it even works. Then you trade it live, but you start small. You only, and I mean only, increase your size after you've proven you can execute without hesitation or conflict. You just keep doing that until it's second nature. That's when you've mastered it.
And you see what the real goal is here, right? It's not about chasing profits. It's about chasing perfect execution of your process. If you can do that on every single trade, guess what? The money takes care of itself. The profits are just a side effect of good discipline.
And this brings us to what might be the most profound idea of all. Deep down, you have a belief about what you're worthy of, what you deserve, and your trading account will almost never stay above that level for long. To make more, you first have to genuinely believe you deserve it. So I'll leave you with that question. Forget the market for a second. Forget the charts and the indicators. The real question is, what do you believe you deserve? Your answer to that might just be the most important trade you ever make.